Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at Bishop Guertin High School. It's a Saturday afternoon, a 3 p.m. tip-off between the Mercy, Connecticut Tigers and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Jason Roby here, along with the highlight guy, Steve Cody. He is the man on moving pictures. It is our Live with Liv minute here. And, Coach, thanks for joining us. First, want to talk about that Salem game from the other night that we covered. That felt like a playoff-type game. Two pretty good teams going at it. You guys came out. What were your thoughts on that one?
Proud of the girls. I thought they had exceptional energy, and it was just a solid team win. Like, it was a solid road team win. It was gritty. We played hard. We played together. Things didn't always go our way. It was a little rocky, especially in that first half. We got into a little bit of foul trouble early, but halftime was kind of the perfect reset, and I thought we came out second half ready to go and ready to just finish a game.
That leads me, that's kind of a nice parlay into my second question is, when things don't go your way and you have the result that you have, that's got to be a positive thing, but it also, in a way, you kind of look forward to practicing the next day because you want to fix those things as you are a team that is learning, kind of building the plane in midair, so to speak.
100%.
Is that how you look at it with your staff when you head into practice, like you say to Brad on the sidelines, this is something we're going to have to work on in practice next week? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think with that, kind of one of the biggest things that we took from Salem and something that we wanted to work on specifically, one, boxing out. I think they killed us on the boards, and that shows, especially, Salem did an extraordinary job, but especially when you have teams who have size and athleticism, like a Portsmouth or like a Pinkerton, like a Londonderry, Bedford, all of those, top 5, top 6, whatever teams. So we have to be able to put bodies on people and box out, get rebounds. So that was one of the things that we took from, right? Like, we did a lot of great things, but this is something we could improve on. And with that, also getting downhill, after we watched film, we talked through it. We noticed a lot of the things that we did were good. We got good looks offensively, but a lot of times we're taking so many threes. And I don't mind the looks we're getting. I just think those threes look a lot nicer after you get some easy bunnies and you get downhill first.
Yeah, no doubt. Great call on that. This Mercy High School team, nice relationship between Bishop Guertin and Mercy High School. It started, I believe, back in 2017 or 18.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this team from Connecticut that you'll be playing this afternoon?
Yeah, they're solid. They are a really solid squad. They have athleticism. They play exceptionally hard. They bring a lot of energy, and they scramble teams early. They're also old. They have some experience, and they've been together for a few years now. It should be a good one. They're gritty, and it'll be a good test for us.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Saturday afternoon, a little bit different, so it'll be a different. There you are, matinee. Hey, you have the rest of your Saturday night, so that's the positive. Liv Orlando, the head coach of the BG Cardinals. Coach, good luck. Go get him out there tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, and now we will call in. We hired the big guns today, Steve. We got the man that is coming in from the Elm Street Middle School State. First. But we'll be calling this game along with Brad Craik, the former head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. As we mentioned, he was at Nashua North High School doing the middle school championships today, and he and his former assistant coach at BG, Kyle Tave, is now the Elm Street Middle School head coach, and they won the whole thing. So congratulations to Coach Tave, Coach Craik, and the Elm Street Eagles. Joined here by Coach Craik. Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and we've talked a lot about this game, but before we get started, something that we've done here in the past is an Ask the Highlight Guy segment, and we have a few questions that were sent into us, one comment and a couple of questions, so I'm going to address these to you. The first question comes from Zach in Wilton, and he asks, why do some programs list positions by name? Example, point guard, power forward, and others by number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and still others by no position. Why do teams do that?
It's a really good question. I think it's just personal preference. We've actually done it a couple different ways over the past number of years. If we had a if we had a senior-laden team, sometimes we'd list them, from seniors first down, etc. So I don't think there's any tried and true way of doing it. I think it's just, how programs have thought about organizing their roster.
Can it sometimes be a matter of you might also have 5 guards on the floor at a time, so no one's really playing the traditional 5 spot per se. Maybe they like the run and gun.
Yeah, well, I think that's maybe a part of it, although, over the last 10, 15 years, I think you know as well as anybody, basketball has become, to a large extent, kind of a positions game. You don't see a lot of traditional bigs anymore, that are kind of, hey, you're going to play the 5 and back to the basket post kid, or, you're a stretch 4, and, you basically got, whether the kid's 5'4" or, 6'2", you got a bunch of, skilled kids that just play in all phases these days.
This question comes from Paul in Nashua, and he asks, do plays run in the half court, plays that are run in the half court have multiple options, like reading the coverage in football for a quarterback? If this, then that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think, every once in a while, you'll get into a situation where you're pretty much saying, this is exactly what we're going to do because you want a certain kid getting the ball in a certain spot and so forth. But most offenses these days, man offenses these days, there's a lot of read and react. Again, it's become a perimeter game with skilled kids who could do a bunch of different things, and you're just constantly making reads. It's not, it's not so much that structured, pass and go to this particular spot on the floor. It's, if you're getting overplayed, you're going to back cut.
Right.
People are playing off you. They go under a screen and roll. So the game has really become much more of a read and react game where there's just a lot more freedom of movement for all 5 kids on the floor.
This last question comes from Marcy in Ohio. Very good. What do the BG Cardinals have to do today to win in 20 words or less?
They cannot allow Mercy to score easy buckets in transition, and they love to run. They're going to have to deal with a 3-quarter court 1-2-2 press that Mercy will probably throw at them most of the game, and they got to stay out of foul trouble. Keep their key kids on the floor.
There it is. Wise words from a man that has been down on the sidelines, played against this Mercy team, knows what to expect. The last one is a comment. It says, Jason, we saw your doppelganger today in the news, but we saw a distinguishing factor that made it not you, thank goodness. Love mom and dad. What's a doppelganger, you ask? Well, I'll give you a great example. A doppelganger could be like a twin, sometimes an evil twin. I liken Steve Cody to a lot like Thor from the Avengers, not necessarily by hair and body structure, but by the way he dressed today. He's wearing the Thor costume there. But my parents said...
by 20.
My parents said, yeah, we knew it wasn't you because the guy didn't have a big bald spot in the back of his head. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Much appreciated. I'll give you a little shot of it there from behind the... All right. Is what it is.
So my doppelganger, my grandkid said to me the other day, Ray, you look like Shrek.
Awesome.
Yeah, not so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, they love Shrek, so that's probably a...
There you go.
All right. From the mouths of babes. Okay. We're ready to meet the starting lineups here for the Mercy Tigers. At last check, 10-3 on the season. Bishop Guertin team that has won their last 3 games, including that great game against Salem, 53-44 a couple of nights ago. They are at 5-5. And Brad, we think the race is to 7?
7, I'd say 7, 8.
7 or 8 games. Okay.
Yeah, the over-under on getting in probably 7.5.
Okay. There it is.
I think these guys need, I think they got to get themselves, a few more wins to comfortably get into the tournament. There's a big log jam of 4 or 5 teams that are all in that kind of 4, 5, 6 win range after 10. So, today would be a really, really great one for these guys to tuck away. And as you said, they're riding a 3-game winning streak and, got a little momentum going here. So, home game on a weekend against a really good opponent. Great check to see where these guys are, mid-season.
Yeah, good crowd here. A lot of them are from made the trek from Connecticut. Madison Benigni, the point guard number 3, will get the start. Rydia Ciccarello, number 10, also a guard. Jasmine Bryant wears number 12. She's kind of a forward guard swing player. Sadie Laurie, number 32, will be a forward. And Mercedes Artes will be the 5th starter. She wears number 44. She'll play that 5 position or center position for Coach Tim Coase. Now we'll meet the home team, Bishop Guertin Cardinals, coached by Liv Orlando. Maddie Long, the sophomore, gets the start. Number 2. Number 10 is Ayla Regan. Had a good game against Salem the other night as a junior. Holly Dufo knocking down a couple of big triples there in the second half. She's a freshman. Jazz Rosario does a little bit of everything. Another freshman. She wears number 24. And Thalia Drapo, a sophomore, wearing number 34. Heard coach say we got to try to stay out of foul trouble, and it starts with Drapo. She's a very aggressive player, very tough player. Going to have to try to stay on the floor. We'll take this time out for the national anthem. We'll be right back for the tip, in which should be a great game. All right, we are ready. Matinee basketball here on the campus of Bishop Guertin. I'm going to say this about my doppelganger thing, and then I'm going to put it to rest. My parents could have said, Steve, they could have said, oh, you were in Lineborough with your daughter for horse riding lessons. They didn't say that. They could have said, oh, this individual's wearing clothing that you don't normally wear. Nope. It went right for the gut. Right for the, oh. That's what parents are for. There it is, just to put me in check. So 8 minutes on the clock. There is no shot clock here in the state of New Hampshire. Bishop Guertin in their white uniforms with green numbers. Mercy will be wearing their blue and gold. And Brad, this has become a nice little rivalry between these two teams, and Mercy kind of makes a weekend out of it, don't they?
They do. They've been coming up for 5 or 6 years. Other than the 2020 COVID year where everything kind of shut down. Actually, it was 21 where the people weren't traveling out of state. They've been up here now 5 or 6 times, starting in 2018. Kind of their annual winter trip, out of town.
Yeah, it's a good trip, and I'm sure one that the family of the Mercy Tigers, the families have come up here. They'll be here tonight. They'll have dinner here, and they'll head back to Connecticut tomorrow. Artes and Drapo to do the jump ball. It's won by the Cards, and they will set up in the half court. This is Drapo at the top of the key. She'll look for help, finds Long. Long surveys and brings it over to Jazz. Back to Drapo, top of the key. And Long will set things back up. And this is what we talk about. What are the options here in the half court as Long loses that dribble? What are the things that they're looking for? And there was a Drapo cut back door that wasn't open. And now the Cards will reset. This is Regan in the key. Loses a dribble, finds Long in the corner. She's not shy. Air ball, and there's a foul over the top by Drapo. Not a good start for Thalia.
Yeah, man-to-man. Mercy's always been a pretty tough man-to-man defensive team. You see right there, they're quick, and they're very physical. Not a long team, but very, very physical, and a bunch of upperclassmen, Jason.
We'll see if that how that leadership plays out here on the offensive side of things for the Tigers. This is Bryant, got it back up top to Benigni. Into the corner it goes. Pretty up and under move, and a nice make there by Mercy. That was Juanita Ciccarello. Good move by her. 5'4" senior guard, making her presence felt. Not to be outdone, the freshman guard takes it back the other way. That was Jazz Rosario.
Yeah, Jason, we've talked a lot. I think this Bishop Guertin team kind of coming into their own, and one of the things we've seen from them when they've had success most recently is, especially early in games, really trying to establish their ability to get downhill and into the paint as opposed to, settling early for perimeter jump shots.
And speaking of downhill, there went number 3, Madison Benigni. She gets hacked in the act. She'll head to the line, and that's something that was talked about by Coach Orlando prior to the game. Was that absolutely we don't mind the three-point shots, but we want them to come in the flow of the offense after we're driving. And if we have a nice look to the basket, take it. If not, we're okay with kicking it out.
Yeah, look, I mean, if they have some really talented shooters, some really talented three-point shooters, and there's a good example of Holly right there. And I'm okay with that shot in the flow and so forth, but I think they've had much more success shooting and making the three after they've really gotten that defense to move and get much better open looks.
Nice dribble drive there by Dufo. She didn't settle for the three-pointer that time. Obviously, when she goes in there, there's 4 blue shirts surrounding her, but the ball was tipped and the Cards will get possession.
Good move.
Nice baseline move. No foul call. Thought maybe they got her on the wrist, but transition defense going to be an important factor here. The Cards get back. This is Benigni. She's not shy, in and out, but another offensive rebound for Laurie. And another three-point shot way downtown is knocked down by Ciccarello, and she has 5.
Yeah, really great backcourt. 3, Benigni plays with great energy, great pace, and number 10, Ciccarello, senior, played a lot of basketball. Very athletic kid, and again, very, very much a kid who wants to attack at all times.
Cards were called for the travel there as Regan dragged that pivot foot in the lane and gets called for that. 7-2 Mercy, 5:15 to go here in the first quarter. Every win is important for this Cardinal team, and there goes a backdoor cut. Dufo was not there in time. Sliding over to help was Regan, and she'll pick up her first. Just a half a step slow on that defensive set. Heading back to the line is Benigni, and she'll get 2 this time. Knocks down the first. Little shooter's touch. She's got 3 points.
So, Jason, I think what you'll see from Mercy, they've been known for this. I would not surprise me if pretty quickly here they're into that 3-quarter court press.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And full timeout called by Olivia Orlando. And I think as you say that, Brad, I think you might be on the same wavelength as Coach Orlando is. I don't know that she's necessarily just talking about the next half-court possession, but also how do we get the ball from under our own basket down the length of the floor. She's had a lot of good timeouts this year from a standpoint of seeing what's coming and getting the girls prepared for that. Yeah, and that's what a good teacher does.
Yeah, she really got a great feel for the game and kind of the ebb and flow of what's going on, and I think I agree with you 100%. She's had a really good knack for knowing when her team needs to regroup just a little bit, and sometimes she'll just use a quick 30-second timeout. Use the full here. My guess is in anticipation of Mercy, bringing that 3-quarter court press. They're very active, very quick. But you're right. Sometimes she just, certain people just have an instinct for the flow of the game, and she certainly got that.
It's a Mercy 9-2 lead. Just over 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Important possession here for Guertin, just from a standpoint of confidence. you know that it's going to come as a result of breaking this press that we're about to see.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there it is. You can see him setting it up.
ball comes into Drapo, does not waste her dribble. They reverse it. Well done by the Cardinals. Into the corner to Dufo. They quickly got out on her. And Drapo looking for help. Zone defense being employed here now by Mercy. Or is it a...
It's a man.
It's a man. It is man.
Yep.
No one followed Drapo through on that last possession, so thought for a minute there. Drapo, she fires from the outside, and good positioning by Mercy on the rebound as Long had to reach around. And now Ciccarello will kick it back, and they will set up in the half court. Coach Tim Coes barking out instructions. Nice switch there, and firing from way downtown. Another triple for Ciccarello. They tried going over the top of that pick instead of underneath it. Ciccarello made them pay. Dufo up top. Long's not shy. She back irons it. Drapo kept it alive momentarily with that tip, and good hustle by Dufo. Long looking for a pick on ball. She'll reverse it. Jazz on the handoff. As mentioned, Mercy in their man-to-man, player-to-player defense comes out top to Dufo. They left her open, and she has had 2 open looks that have been way off the mark in the early going. Back the other way comes Mercy. Dribble drive on the baseline, Benigni, and she misses everything. Cards will run. They don't have the numbers. Regan will step back, skip across the way. Jazz with that signature ball fake baseline drive. They were ready for it. They have this Guertin team well scouted. Regan now working against Bryant. She'll go to the hoop. Good help defense. And that defense got over there just a tad late. We're going to get a blocking call. It's going to be the first foul against Ortiz. And as a result, Regan going to go to the line. What do we see there, Brad?
Yeah, look, you can already see it here. This is a little bit of a battle of wills already, right? You know, the Mercy guys are making everything very, very difficult for the Guertin kids. You know, Guertin went through a little 2-minute stretch where I think they took 3 or 4 threes. I said it before, I'll say it again. I think the more they maintain that attacking, aggressive mentality and just don't allow defenses to dictate terms to them, the better off they're going to be. So let's see if they can kind of get back into their rhythm and get the ball downhill into the paint and around the rim off the dribble primarily.
2 out of 2 for Regan. Weidman checks in. She's a 5'10 sophomore center for Mercy. And dribble drive, good penetrate. Drapo comes away with it. They'll run, but you can see the speed on this Mercy team. They got back into it. Oh, in and out. It was a good look there for Dufo. And I suppose the one thing, Brad, is she's not, the confidence is there. She missed the first 2 by a lot, and that one was everything but in.
And a good look. It was a great look in the flow in transition early, but that's the kind of shot that you want her taking.
Yep.
Nice job right there.
Oh, a little pick and roll action. Unselfish ball. Long gets the bucket. 12-6. Cards have cut it in half.
A really great pace so far, Jason.
I
They're
like
getting up and down, and you know, look, 2 good basketball teams.
That one shot from just beyond the B in the mid-court insignia. And don't look now. Ciccarello's going to need a fire extinguisher. She's on fire.
Yeah, they're going to have to get up into her.
Nice dribble drive to the baseline. Help came along. Cards quickly reversed the floor. Drapo finds herself alone at the top of the key. She'll knock down a triple. Another good shot there, Brad.
See the difference there? Maddie Long had a 3, didn't take it, got down into the paint, drew the defense, and Falia had a great look for 3. It's a great start. You know, really good game so far.
Absolutely,
BG's
right.
hanging around and you know, like their toughness so far.
And I think you saw there,
yeah,
Holly and Drapo didn't slide over to help as much there. I wonder if she was worried about picking up that second foul. So as it is, Dufo will get the first, and back to the line is Benigni, and she will be going for her 5th and 6th points here of the first quarter. Back iron, no good. She'll get a second. Couple of substitutes coming in. It'll be Pizzetti and Gallagher
Yeah.
Dufo and Long will head to the bench.
Yeah, I think, obviously Lib trying to protect Holly a little bit with the 2 fouls early, and, Gianna Pizzetti, I would be shocked if you did not see her check number 10, Ciccarello here, and see if they can slow her down.
I think that's a good idea. As Pizzetti quickly drives the length and short arms a layup.
And there's your matchup right there.
Wow. And so the recipe was, if you're going to get up in me, I'm going to drive by you. And then Benigni knocks down a 3, so Benigni and Ciccarello kind of change places there.
Yep, that's like I said, very, very tough backcourt. 2 upperclassmen who have played a lot of basketball, tough, rugged, competitive kids.
They're the only 2 that have scored for Mercy so far. Regan loses the handle, and we're going to get a sideline violation. Ball will go back to Mercy. Is checking in is Rose Segi. And Rose is a 5'5" senior guard. Heading to the bench will be Benigni. She has 8 points so far in this one.
10 for Ciccarello, Jason.
11 for Ciccarello.
Yeah. Gianna's going to do a nice job on her. Gianna's, obviously super athletic, but also very physical kid, tough physical kid.
Interestingly enough, Brad, you asked that. My mathematics don't add up here. But I do have 11 for Ciccarello. So we'll have to check on the numbers for Benigni. Jazz now, left-hand dribble. She'll reverse the floor, find Drapo. This time it's guarded up top. Gallagher, guarded late. Pizzetti, she's quick. They'll kick it back out to Drapo. She'll dribble, drive, throwing in, and no. He's going to call it on the floor, so it'll be a sideline play.
Good job by Thalia again, attacking the rim.
He was pointing to the floor, but I think he just said, did it count? He's going to say this was in the act of shooting. He wasn't sure if it went in or not, so we don't know if it's going to be a sideline or a free throw situation. It's going to be 2 shots, okay. So Thalia will go to the line. Foul's going to go against number 32, Sadie Laurie. That's her first foul. Just the team's second. And again, we'll have to go check that score. I'm fairly certain I got it right, but that's why I'm up here. Drapo, shooter's touch, makes the first. She'll get a second. Mia Pisciotti will check in. One of those 3 players probably see 8 deep on this Mercy team. She's one of the 8. Drapo will get a second. 2 out of 2, nice job there. And the Cards really had did a nice job from the free throw line the other night, Brad.
Yeah, they hit a bunch of free throws, particularly late in the game, to ice that game, and they're off to a pretty good start tonight as well.
Way downtown, and that one, good positioning by Drapo.
Good.
She hits the deck. Did a call for a foul. That's a tough call there, as maybe her arm was pulled from behind. Drapo can't believe it. Coach Orlando will walk away from it, not ignite that fire. Possession goes to Mercy. They come over the top. Drapo battles that one, knocks it away. So we're going to go to the end of the first quarter. Not a bad one. 18-11 by the official scoreboard. As this is a Mercy team that came out on fire, 4 triples in the early going here. But BG not going away, as Coach Craig mentioned, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And one of the things, Brad, that I noticed with this BG team and looking at the scorebook, very balanced scoring. Occasionally you'll have one girl that has a little more than everybody else, but the other night I think they had 4 girls with 5 points. And that was the difference in that Salem game. The top 3 scores for the Salem and the top 3 scores from BG all equaled 32 points. They canceled each other out. So the difference was those secondary scores, and third scores, you were talking about, 3 points for Salem and 5, 6, and 7 points for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, depth, right? I mean, I think Liv's always said this. She's got 8, 9. Sometimes she'll play 10. And just about every one of them can contribute offensively as needed, which to me is just a much better recipe for winning games. You know, you're not always going to get your number 1 or number 2 kids, going to give you 18 or 20 or 25 in any given game. So, you give me 5 to 7 kids who can get you anywhere between 5 and 15 points, and you're tough to stop.
I want to welcome all of our fans from, and I hope she's okay. She got it pretty quickly. Gallagher's tough, and she pops right back up. Good hustle by Gallagher on that play.
I think the bleachers got the worst of that one.
Want to welcome our friends from Middletown, Connecticut, who are watching us on the highlight guy. A lot of Mercy parents came to support the team, and they'll be staying here tonight. But I'm sure a lot of people are watching us on the highlight guy back home, and they're going to like that result, as knocking a shot down from the outside was Jasmine Bryan. She's in the books. Pretty little jump shot there. Underneath it goes, and Gallagher was all alone underneath, and she was looking to pass before looking at the basket, Brad.
Yeah, I think she had a wide open layup, didn't know it. It's going to happen from time to time. Things are going so fast. But, look, I think really important time in the game. BG's down 9, but they're still connected. They got to make sure they stay, try to keep this thing inside of 10 and just keep chipping away. This Mercy team's tough. I think you allow them to get up on you 14, 15, 18 points, they can run away and hide. So nice job right there by Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz going with the right hand, Brad. We've seen her start on the right side and want to use the left. Great job of recognizing where she was on the floor. She went to the right hand, so nice job by the lefty, 20-13.
Yeah, and BG got the 1-3-1 going right now, Jason.
They do. I like the change. What are they going to try to exploit here, Brad? Is the foul's going to be called against Pizzetti. What's Mercy going to try to do as Ciccarello checks back in if they stay in this 1-3-1? What's the game plan?
I think you're going to see two shooters getting loaded up in the corners and see if they can stretch the back of that zone out and knock down threes. I'd be very surprised. I know BG's back to man now.
Back to man on that inbounds play, yep.
A little cat and mouse game between Coach Orlando and Coach Coase right now.
We're going to get, excuse me, Brad, we're going to offensive foul on Benigni. She was trying to set a screen on Gallagher, and she wasn't willing to put all of herself in front of that, and as a result, got there maybe a half a step late, leaned into it. The foul will go against her. So, a warning coming to somebody there. I don't know who it was, but watch the game, and unless you want to come up here and put on a headset with us, this is the best place to be.
Yeah, some enthusiastic fans over on the other
Indeed, sir.
side.
Balcony Muppets, we like to call them, Brad. Yeah. Ball comes into Rosario. She's working from well beyond the arc. She'll circumnavigate the globe and find Regan. Crossover dribble. Lane is cut off. This is Gallagher's spin move. She gets double teamed, and there's that look that we talked about. Oh, it was a good look for Drapo. The rotation didn't get over to her, so they seem to know what they're looking for. They're just going to take the top off the basket.
Yeah, they're getting good looks. You just got to keep competing here.
Mercedes Artes, and you could hear there was an air ball, but kind of along those same lines. Coach Coase of Mercy said that's a good shot.
Yep. Yeah, good basketball game right now.
20-13, Cardinals down by 7, 6 minutes to go in the first half. Rosario will work to the left. They'll find Drapo. Jazz will fire from way downtown. No. Side iron, and back the other way comes Mercy.
They get out to her.
And another Yahtzee knocked down there by Benigni. Cards have no answer for the two-headed monster of Ciccarello and Benigni. 23-13, the lead is ballooned to 10. Rosario will get the pick and roll. Little accentuated two-step drive and a nice make by Rosario.
I tell you, that high screen and roll that BG started to run in the last couple of weeks with Jazz turning the corner primarily to her left hand, that's an awfully difficult look to stop. And here comes Mercy again.
Speaking of difficult looks, Ciccarello will hit her fourth three. And Coach Orlando going to call timeout and talk it over. It'll just be a 30-second timeout. I mean, is that disheartening, Brad? Sometimes you go down there, you get a good make on the offensive side of things through the flow of your offense, and then they come down and they just knock down a triple with one pass.
Yeah, there's no question. And look, you got to give the Mercy kids credit. What have they hit, 6 or 7 threes here?
Yep.
10, 11 minutes into the game. You're not going to see a lot of that in a high school game. So credit to them for shooting the ball. we'll see if they can maintain that over a 32-minute, stretch of time. If they end up hitting 15, 18 threes, you're probably going to shake their hand and say, congratulations. But
6 of them through a quarter and a half, so
I'm not sure they can shoot it any better.
Right.
So, kind of take an
saying
optimistic
there's a
view
chance.
of this thing. Yeah. I'm not sure they can shoot it much better, and if BG can string a few stops together and continue to chip away, again, I think, good goal for them to try to get this thing, down to mid-single digits going into the half here, and I think they can feel pretty good about that.
Pizzetti, dribble kick out. That one goes through the wickets. Drapo loses the dribble. Jazz hustles to the ball. Nice job by her. Handoff goes to Regan. She thought about it. A little spin move. Oh, nice ball fake. Jazz jump shot. Yahtzee. And I'll give that a Yahtzee because that was just a nice move and a nice make by Rosario.
She is really just offensively always under control. She has really great, quiet feet on the perimeter. I don't think I've seen her travel more than 2 or 3 times, all season, which, again, for a freshman with a ball in her hands a lot, awfully unusual. So she's a very gifted kid.
And Mercedes Ortiz split 3 BG defenders on that one. Gallagher is going to pick up the foul. And that will be her first. The team's second. Knocking down the first free throw is Mercedes Ortiz, the 5'7" junior forward. She's in the books. 4 out of 6 so far for the Tigers. 5 out of 7. Ortiz has 2. 4:20 to go, 28-17 Mercy. Rosario will set the stage here. Double team, someone's open. And a nice job as the ball was thrown off of the leg. I believe it was of Benigni.
So you see, Jason, that Coach Coe's made a nice adjustment on that high ball screen. He's trapping the ball now, so we'll see how BG reacts to his adjustment.
Yeah, I think it's a good move there. As checking in is Long for Regan. Sometimes those corners are dangerous places to end up. There's nowhere to go. You don't have a two-way go. There's out of bounds, and that's about it. Drapo looking for help. Find Gallagher. The 2 bigs are on the floor now for Guertin. Rosario has become more of a focal point in the offense thus far. I thought maybe a travel could have been called there. Nice rebound
by Gianna.
Pizzetti. Gallagher,
Good
nice
take.
pass. And it had to be a rainmaker. That one was going to get swatted up here, so great adjustment by Jazz. She'll get fouled on the little set shot from the baseline.
Jason, you see just how valuable a kid like Gianna Pizzetti is.
Yeah.
She's not going to stick out as a leading scorer and so forth, but I think she's got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds to keep possessions alive, and they've ended up being pretty productive possessions. Kids like that, they're just the glue kids that do all the dirty work. And if you want to have a winning basketball team, you need a couple kids like that.
No doubt. Abby Weidman will check back in. Gabby Philbrick will get her first action here. And, you mentioned Pizzetti. She actually played a factor offensively in the last game against Salem with some drives to the basket.
Yep.
A little too much mustard on that hot dog for Jazz. She'll get a second. She has 8 points thus far, looking to equal her point total from the Salem game. And she does just that. Rosario has 9. 3:43 to go. Cards will pick up man-to-man. Benigni gets the ball on ball screen. And they'll rotate it to the baseline. Good patience in the half court. Nice ball fake dribble drive. A little, thought it would have been a block shot. I think they're going to call Drapo on this. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's. Yep.
It is going to be Drapo. That's her second. And it'll be a possession foul. Just the 3 team fouls thus far. Gallagher going to come in to protect Drapo. So Drapo will head off the floor. And Brad, I'll have to ask you, when you're a team that is used to playing with a shot clock, Long going to get called for a foul there, a cheap one at that. When you're used to playing with a shot clock, does it automatically just speed up your mentality offensively, even when you're playing where there is no shot clock? In other words, do they have that internal clock in their mind, like we need to get?
There's no question. I mean, I think, you get coached a certain way, you design your offense a certain way, and so forth. Jason, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember whether nice pass. I don't
Great
remember
look there.
whether Connecticut's got a shot clock or not.
I think they do.
They may, they may not. I don't remember. I know Rhode Island does. Massachusetts does.
I think there's only 8 states that don't, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And New Hampshire having the conversation about it.
Yeah. Boy, it would improve the game. That's for sure.
I agree. I like the way they do fouls now as well, nationally.
Yep.
And that pass was, by the way, Philbrick into Pizzetti, so a nice possession.
Nice
Last time
take.
slicing through like a hot knife through butter is Rosario. And she's having a big quarter here for the Cards.
Yeah.
She's got 9 in the quarter.
Yeah. Got it from 11 down to 6 here in the last minute and a half. Huge 2.5 minutes to finish the second quarter, Jason.
What's been the difference, Brad, as you can see it? Because it doesn't seem like Mercy's been coming away with nothing on the offensive end.
No.
And, Coach Coe's good time out there to kind of rally the troops here and bring things back in. But what's been the difference, I mean, as they've whittled this lead down to 6?
Look, I think people are going to start thinking you and I are in cahoots here. But, you think about what Guertin's done the last 3 or 4 possessions offensively. Got to the rim. Gianna got a nice offensive rebound. Maggie Gallagher, dribble penetration to Jazz, got her to the free throw line, and then Jazz right there again. Not settling for a contested shot and driving the rim and scoring at the rim. So, again, I just think that not every team's the same, but I really think given where these guys are in their development, that really the key to this Guertin team's success offensively is that attacking mentality. And, I think you and I have seen them all. Every time they get away from that, they struggle a little bit. Every time they get back to that, they have great success. Yeah,
no question about that. I'm going to take it a step further. I wouldn't say we're in cahoots. I would say we're geniuses. All right, ball comes in to Benigni in the backcourt. Steve Cody told me to say that, by the way. He's got the cue cards up. Steve, put those things away. Weidman now.
Got to dig in and get a stop here. Dig in and get a couple of stops here.
2 minutes to go, and there's some frustration on this possession as travel called. And you could see at the top of the key, Jasmine Bryant had her hands up in the air wondering what's going on here. I'm standing all alone, and that just didn't seem like in the flow of the offense. Good catch by Philbrick to keep this alive. Pizzetti, that's not her shot. She knows it. Nice job by Gianna Pizzetti. Nice dribble drive kick out. This is Gallagher goes up strong with the left no. Good look. Pizzetti battles, and she'll get fouled. And now the Cards seem with a little bit more bounce in their step. Maybe just kind of getting into the flow of the game here as Weidman will pick up her first, Coach.
You just have to love about this group, this young group. Man, they got tough kids.
Yeah.
They just really compete. Look, they were down 11 middle of second quarter, and they just dug in without Thalia and Holly on the floor. And they got kids making plays all over the floor right now.
Good patience in the half court here as the Cards willing to work it around and look for the best shot. 1:17 to go here before halftime. Cards are down by 6.
Get Maggie downhill. Maggie downhill.
There it is. Little scoop shot. And again, you've got the size advantage. You take it into Ciccarello, so you win in a couple of fronts there. You get Ciccarello a foul. You go to the foul line, and you're starting to establish that inside presence. And you're scoring potentially when the clock's not running.
Yeah, everything's downhill right now. Everything's downhill right now. It sounds so simple. And look, it's not easy, but it's a mentality that I think this team's starting to develop. And, when they see the success with it, they go back to it.
And this is a good Mercy team out of Connecticut. This is not a, this is a 10-3 team that's playing really good basketball. And you mentioned today they came in for a shoot-around this morning after breakfast. So they're familiar with this court. It's not like this is something that they're not familiar with. A nice dribble drive there. And, Pizzetti coming in to help, and a little collision there as Bryant took it to the hoop with authority. She'll get hacked in the act, but I I hesitate to say good foul, but maybe
foul.
make you think twice about coming into the lane.
Well, I don't think he hesitated at all. I mean, that's a layup that they just denied. And there you go, right?
Make him earn it from the free throw line.
And physical. And physical. Nothing dirty, but just a hard physical foul, at the rim. Two competitive kids going after each other. Listen, heck of a basketball game, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Really good, high-quality high school basketball game so far. Great to
Scotty
watch.
will check in. Excuse me, Brad, for Weidman there. Yeah, a great basketball game. As in and out and over the top. No foul called there. Philbrick goes behind the back, gets it over to Long. 50 seconds to go here before halftime. Nice on-ball screen. Kicked out into the corner. Philbrick looking for help, finds it in Rosario at the top.
Come and get her. Come and
right
get her.
Right in front of us. We'll see what she
There's
does.
There's your ball screen.
And there goes your roll. Nice switch. Size advantage went to Mercy there. And all alone was Philbrick. Had her pocket picked, and she's going to get called for the foul there. As I think it was Gallagher. That'll be her second. 28-25, and in the bonus now are the Mercy Tigers, so they will head down for some freebies. And it'll be Benigni from the free throw line. She had 8 in the first quarter, 4 this quarter. Again, my scoring is off by 1 point somewhere. Regan up top. And 2 out of 2 for Madison, the sophomore point guard. Jazz over to the left side. Dribble drive, kick out. Regan's not shy. No, it was a good look. Battled for the rebound there. Here comes a trap. And walking the tightrope is Benigni, and she'll reverse. Spin move. 4 seconds, 3. No call there. Good if it goes. And a little forearm shiver. How do you do? 30-23. Guertin down by 7. It was a great first half. Things started getting a little physical there. We saw 2 very good basketball teams here, and as we've come to expect all year from this Guertin team, Brad, doesn't matter how many they're down by, they just keep battling, keep fighting, and they're just down by 7 here to a very good Mercy team heading into the half.
Yeah, and listen, there's sort of there's the short-term view of this thing, which is, look, they're in a competitive basketball game, down 7 at the half. Mercy had them on the ropes. They were down 11, and they were scuffling a little bit. And I just love their toughness and their poise and composure. Got it back down to 6, 7 at the half. But Jason, to me, if you think about this thing in the long term, these kinds of games for this young, you got what, 8 of their top 9 kids are underclassmen. Half of them are freshmen, half of them are sophomores. These kinds of games against tough out-of-state teams are, to me, how you really develop your program. And these kids, I don't know if they're going to win this game or they're going to lose this game, but they're going to wake up tomorrow a better basketball team than they were coming into this game. And I really applaud, the coaching staff and the school for maintaining that approach to playing, 3, 4, 5, 6 out-of-state games against good competition. I just don't think you're going to want to play this Guertin team in March.
No, I agree, and it's a hard sell saying that there's a silver lining somewhere, right? I mean, when you don't win a game, as anybody that's competitive, you measure things by wins and losses. And as I said to Coach Orlando, this is an airplane that's being built mid-flight, and you can see that the roles are starting to become more defined, people understanding what each other does, and it's been a great game up to this point. We're going to take a timeout here for halftime. We'll be back in just a few minutes with second half action. Jason Roby on the highlight. Brad Craig, Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures. At halftime, it is Mercy High School 30, Bishop Guertin 23. We'll be right back after these messages.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Hi, my name is Deb Cody and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I serve both residential and commercial clients in New Hampshire and Maine and work with an amazing team of KW colleagues and affiliate partners to help you achieve your real estate goals. In 2022, I ranked in the top 20% of 700 plus agents within my brokerage. I was nominated this past year to serve on the Agent Leadership Committee within my firm and have enjoyed giving back to my colleagues and local community. Are you curious to know how much your home may be worth in today's market? Reach out to me today and I'd be happy to run a complimentary comparative market analysis for you.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
All right, welcome back to the campus of Bishop Guertin High School. Mercy, Connecticut, here with a 30-23 lead over the Cardinals. Jason Roby along with Brad Craik, and the highlight guy, the man on the moving pictures, as always, is Steve Thor Cody. And here to catch this game, Bedford High School coach is Kevin Gibbs. Maybe Coach Gibbs trying to get in on the broadcasting trio here with us, Brad. I don't know. It's all downhill from here.
Yes, it is.
Cards will get the ball, start things off in the second half. Rosario had a great first half. She finished with 11. And Cardinals will try to bring this 7-point lead down to 5 on this possession. Drapo at the top left. Screen and roll. Drapo goes up, a little too hot.
Great rebound.
And follows her own shot. Got it out to Regan, who got it out to Dufo. Dufo, she'll fire from way downtown. Front iron, no. Rebound goes to Benigni. She had 12 in the first half. It was the Benigni-Ciccarello show in the first half as Ciccarello, the aforementioned, and no foul there. Late it comes, and a little body push on Lori, Sadie's second, 5'7" junior, will get called for the cheap one, and Mercy will fall back and pick up over half court. This time Rosario will work back to the left to Long. She's had some good looks from the outside, hasn't found that three-point touch yet, but we know she's good for it, and just like that, look good from here.
Gotta get back.
Transition defense and good quick hands by Dufo. So she missed that shot, Brad, and there have been times they're going to say it went off of Mercy. Referees are going to talk it over.
I think they're going to turn this one over.
Yeah, I think so too. But we've noticed in the past, Brad, and this is a great example while the referees figure it out, they're going to say it is Bishop Guertin ball, and Coach Coase can't believe it. Kind of shaking his head, and the official will come over to talk to Coach Coase about it. They'll exchange some pleasantries here.
Good crew. Good crew.
Yeah,
You know,
and I think it's a good move.
Very experienced crew.
Nobody's trying to stage anybody here. They just want to make it clear that, and probably not exchanging phone numbers or social media contact information, but speaking of which, you can contact us at thehighlightguy.com. Always look forward to your questions, your comments. All right, so much ado about nothing. We'll come back the other way. Can't get that minute and a half back. Rosario, left-hand dribble across the way. Dufo to Long.
Mercy is very physical. You know, BG's working off of those off-ball screens, and Mercy's just jamming and bumping cutters all over the place.
We talked about the difference, Brad, between 14 and 15-year-olds and 16 and 17-year-olds. It really is a world of difference. Nice shot there by Regan as she gets her 4th point. So they're going to have to maybe rely on those mid-range jumpers because they're finding the sledding tough to the hole.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've been talking all game long about how BG should get downhill and to the rim, and I still believe that, but not necessarily because they're going to score at the rim all the time. Sometimes it's just to get the defense moving. They're going to have to hit some shots to win this game. There's no question about it.
Yeah, Drapo stopped that shot from happening. Thought she had a jump ball called. It was tough luck foul as she'll get called, and it'll be 2 free throws coming.
It's a 3 on Thalia.
It is 3 on Thalia as Gallagher prepares to check back into the game. Hitting the first is Ortiz. She's got 3, and Gallagher will come in. Drapo will head to the bench. Tough call on Thalia as she looked like she had jammed it up for a jump ball. Good rebound by Gallagher. Back the other way comes Long. Whoa. Skip past that. Rainmaker finds its way. Not sure if it was intended for Dufo or Tom King standing up on the stage, but Tom King from the Nashua Telegraph. He worked the middle school championship game here in Nashua this morning. Talk about wearing a lot of hats.
Great day over at Nashua North this morning, the City Middle School tournament, Jason. Eight teams, 4 girls, 4 boys teams, and great crowds, tons of energy, and Lisa Gingras does a great job organizing and running that tournament for all the teams in and around the city.
Yeah, it's good to see in the city of Nashua all those teams coming together, converging on the campus of Nashua North High School, and Lisa Gingras best in the business, no doubt about that. As that foul's going to go against Gallagher, that's her 3rd foul, and heading to the line is Jasmine Bryant. She knocks down the first. And now Guertin will be forced to go small as Pizzetti will check back in. Gallagher and Drapo with 3 apiece.
Interesting matchups here for Guertin defensively. I'm not sure who's going to guard bigs.
Well, there's an offensive rebound right there, and that height advantage already showing up as that foul will go against Maddie Long. That's her 2nd.
I think they're going to have Gianna guard the big.
Well, she's their oldest, probably their most physical player. But there's no answer for that, Brad. It's just a matter of physics at some point. Nice up and under by Ortiz. She has 5.
Let's stay connected here again. Another pivotal point, down 9.
That ball goes off of Long's foot. She'll chase it down and keep it in the front court. Regan thought about it, got it back out to Long. We'll see if the patience is something the Cards have to have, but way downtown is Regan. No, Pizzetti goes in and a takedown, and that's going to go against Mercy, and that was a legitimate call.
I think it's going to go against Guertin, believe it or not.
Oh boy, I think you're right, and they're going to say it's Pizzetti. My mistake. I thought it was a foul on Mercy, but no such luck as the lead is ballooned to 9. So important here. Guertin comes away with a stop. They will extend the pressure. Benigni now. Methodical. Gets it over half court. She'll reverse direction. Find her backcourt mate, Ciccarello. Into the corner it goes. Ooh, could have been called for a travel there. No. Nice flash. Kick out way downtown. Yahtzee. And another 3-pointer for Ciccarello.
Timeout here.
And it's a good timeout. It was good ball movement, and you can see the difference on the sidelines right now as all kinds of fired up of the Mercy Tigers. They're smelling some blood in the water as the Ciccarello-Benigni show continues. And if you're Coach Orlando, Brad, what are you talking about in this timeout?
Well, I think they got to get some stops defensively. It looks like she's bringing, she's going to roll the dice a little bit. I think a really good move bringing Thalia back into the game. I think you could see, they went small. They had to go small because of foul trouble on both Thalia and Maggie. Coach Coe's been around doing this a long, long time. The very first possession down there, he pounded the ball down into the paint, and it's a very, very tough matchup for Guertin without a little bit of size and strength on the floor. So Thalia's coming back on the floor. Look, I don't think they have to panic. They're all right. They were down 11 earlier. Still got 12 minutes to play in this game. You just got to chip away. There's not a 10-point shot in the game as far as I know. So they just got to, string a few stops together, continue to stay aggressive offensively. Again, try to get this thing down into single digits heading into the 4th quarter.
Benigni and Ciccarello with 29 of the 37 points for Mercy. And the Cards have had no answer for them. Jazz now, top of the key.
We try to get Thalia a touch here.
She'll circle through, gets the pick from Dufo. And that ball, zigging when you should have been zagging. Same book, different page. Throw in whatever one-liner you want. It's a turnover, and it's going to go to Mercy. 4:07 in the 3rd quarter. 12-point Tiger lead. Long will mark up Benigni. Over the half-court line it comes. This is Bryant. Got the ball into Ortiz, and that ball stolen. Nice job by Long stepping in that passing lane. She'll drive, kick out, Drapo. No. Followed her own shot. You got to be careful when you do that from downtown. You can get caught in transition. Fortunate that time that the rebound was battled for. Laurie, dribble drive, ball hits the deck, and nice job by Dufo. Getting dirty on that play. Pizzetti, dribble drive, runner in the lane, tough take there. Like up against two Mercy Tigers. And nobody underneath to help. Ortiz now will run the point. And we'll take it at Drapo. And they're going to call her on the foul, and she winces in pain. And they're going to call it on Drapo, and she's definitely wincing in pain as they took it right at her. And that'll be her fourth foul. Gallagher will check in. 2 shots coming up for Ortiz. And that was a pretty aggressive take to the basket. Mercedes will get 2, the 5'7" junior. Misses the first. This free throw brought to you by Goodnight Moon. You're looking to be put to sleep. Just commit a foul, and all will go quiet. 1 out of 2 for Ortiz. She has 6-3 here in the third quarter. 13-point advantage, biggest lead of the evening or the afternoon for the Tigers. Jazz feels the double team.
Gotta get out of the corner.
Yeah, they gotta stay out of those corners. Skip pass across the way and just very quick adjusting defensively. These Mercy Tigers, seems like they put some extra fuel in the gas tank. And that shot brought to you by Steve Cody.
Jason, go down and get that.
I've seen the highlight man take some shots like that. The highlight guy. You want me to run up and get that?
All right, how many?
No? Okay.
How many takes to get this ball down? What do you think?
I'm going to go. The over/under is 3. It's coming out in the first.
I'm taking the over. Oh, look at that.
Brad Craik loses that bet. Clearly, I should have set it at 2, and that would have made things. I mean, I can't make it any easier for him, Steve. Mercy possession under the basket. Dufo got to be careful they don't throw it off her back. Ball comes over the top to Ortiz. Bounce pass, ball fake, kick out.
Nope.
No. And it's just a hustle play there as Benigni ran that one down. Into the corner. Dribble drive, hitting the deck. That ball stolen by Gallagher. 2-on-1 opportunity here. And I'll tell you what I was taught was to get to that foul line and make the defender commit. If they go to the pass, I'm taking the little jumper. That was 1985.
Need a bucket here badly.
Game has changed since then.
There you go.
Dufo at the elbow, the runner in the lane, and they're going to call a player-controlled foul on Holly Dufo. That'll be her second. You agree with that call, Brad?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay, there it is.
Unfortunately, I do. I think it's probably a pretty good call.
Mercy's
we'll look at it back on the highlight guy and decide, but
Mercy does a real nice job of helping defensively and beating you to the spot, and that may have been the case there. Benigni working on Gallagher. No call there. And then again, no call. Let him get a little physical, and then now they'll finally call it. I mean, you're not going to do it on the first 2. That one's going to go against Pizzetti. That'll be her third. So getting beat up on the glass a little bit. Here are the Cardinals. Nice shot there, release, rotation, splash for Ortiz. She's 3 out of 4 in this half. 5 out of 6 for the game. No, rebound, good positioning on that one by Gallagher. She'll hand it off to Jazz. And the Cards have to get something going as Ayla Regan is the only one to score this quarter.
2 for the quarter, I think, right, Jason?
Yes, sir. No make there. Ball hits the ground. Got to be careful not to reach around. And Mercy will come away with it. Guertin down by 14 as Mercy operates in the half court. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Good denial defense there by Gallagher. That entry pass was intended for Ortiz and used that wingspan to knock it away. Jasmine Bryant to do the honors from the C in Cardinals. Benigni now. Nice crossover dribble, kick out. Another nice move. That rainmaker goes off the stanchion up top. And that will be out of bounds. 59.5 seconds to go, 39-25 Mercy. And they are showing none of it to Guertin. See what I did there, Steve? They're showing no mercy. Fired way downtown. Dufo gets a Yahtzee. And the first one of the game, that's Dufo's first bucket. And it couldn't have come at a better time as the Cardinals need to dig into this Tiger lead. Long now.
Desperately need to stop here.
We'll see if the mentality changes. As, yeah, that's a tough foul, and that's going to send Benigni to the line. More importantly, it's going to be the third on Long. But you can't take him with you. You just hate to see fouls like that taken so far away from the basket.
Yeah.
And things get eerily quiet here in the nest. Well, Mercy trying to give their best version of good night Cardinals. As Benigni hits the first, she'll get a second. I'm sure our friends in Middletown, Connecticut like that one. 2 out of 2 for the sophomore point guard. Benigni will check out. Like Lori checked in, and also number 15, Caitlin Bartolome, will get some action here for the Tigers. 18 seconds to go. Losing the handle there was Long. She got it back. Dribble drive, runner in the lane, no. And a good rebound by Weidman, and 8 seconds to go. They'll push it. Bryant behind the back, working on Long. Between the legs, kick out, 25 will get it. Runner is good as it goes, no. It was a good look by Zegi. Rose took a runner, and it just went off the back of the rim. So we'll head to the fourth quarter. Mercy up by 12, 40-28. Just a 5-point quarter, Brad, for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they had a hard time scoring the ball, and I think that's a lot about how Mercy defended them. They were very physical. You see a lot of that high post, back screening action that the Guertin kids have been running all year long, and kids like Thalia and Maggie, usually working off those back screens, finding space. They were finding nothing but a forearm, in their solar plexus. This Mercy team's very, very physical. They're very competitive. They got a bunch of upperclassmen, kind of been there, done that. And I think you kind of saw that defensive physicality in the third quarter.
So the Cards will head into this one, and they'll need to get some stops. They'll need to start making some shots from the outside as they find themselves down by 12 heading into the fourth quarter. It's a Guertin team that has won 3 straight games, including a good one against Salem a couple of nights ago. Mercy hitting the road, coming from Middletown, Connecticut. They've been here for a couple days. They'll be here overnight again, and they make a weekend out of it. It's been a great rivalry between the two schools.
Jason, interesting, Coach Coe starting the fourth quarter without either of his starting backcourt on the floor. So we'll see if Guertin can carve into that lead here a little bit and, again, get this thing down into the single digits pretty quickly.
I thought it was interesting. I thought he was just trying to get him a breather before the fourth quarter, but maybe he sees something and wants to give it a shot. As I saw Gallagher open underneath. And a Yahtzee from Regan on the outside. I don't think that's going to last very long, Brad, but we'll see.
I was going to say, I can guarantee you that if Guertin gets this thing down to, 6 or 7, I think those two kids are going to be back on the
I would
floor
say if this possession goes without a score, I think you'll see them up, and you might even see them up now as Coach Coes, and there it is.
And here they come.
Yeah, here they come. So,
interesting experiment. Didn't last
hey,
very
listen.
long.
And you probably tell them, look, here's the deal. Here's how this is going to work. You got them, an extra 30 seconds of rest here.
Yep.
And a minute on the timeout. So it's
a good job.
30
Actually,
seconds on the timeout. But
you can tell, Coach Coe's been doing this 30 years. So, gave that starting backcourt the last 30, 45 seconds of the third quarter. The blow around the quarter, the first 30 seconds here. And, great time for him to call a timeout just to stretch that little rest out. And they're both back on the floor. And, they got 4 of their starters back on the floor here. So.
And what did I take from that comment? Coach Craig just called Coach Coes old. No, I think you're absolutely right, Brad. That you saw them call that quick timeout, get the starters back on the floor. He knows what this Guertin team is capable of from the standpoint of scoring in bunches really quickly, especially from the outside. And you don't want your starters to get too cold sitting on that sideline either. So a good move by Coach Coes.
Yeah, if Guertin's going to get their way back into this game, it's going to start on this end of the floor.
And good challenge by Regan, and the Cards have the numbers on the fast break. It's Jazz.
Nice
Got it underneath
pass.
to Gallagher. Skip pass across the way. Dufo, no. And maybe if she was a step closer, and it goes off of a Mercy foot, but boy, transition-wise, Mercy didn't get back, and very fortunate to not come away with a made shot from Guertin.
Yeah.
Nice inbounds play right there, yeah. They've run that a few times this year, and every time it seems like she's open.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, couldn't knock it down there. That would have been a big shot.
Just got to dig in here. You just have to dig in on this side of the floor and get stops.
Way downtown, in and out. Offensive rebound, ball.
Gertin's ball.
Guertin,
oh, no, Mercy ball, sorry.
It'll be Mercy ball, but tying up Mercy there is checking back in. Sadie Laurie and Mia Pisciotti will come to the bench. Mercy, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Brett.
It's just be interesting to see how long into this fourth quarter Coach Orlando goes before she brings Thalia back.
And a foul going to go there against number 32, Sadie Laurie. So remember, the race is to 5 fouls. That'll be the first one. And I think that's a good call, Brad. At some point, you want to bring in Drapo and get her on the floor. My guess is somewhere around the 5-minute mark if the lead is still 9.
Yeah.
Of course, that's just a guess. I don't have any inside intel. Gallagher now, right hand dribble, spin. Little double team, got it back out to Dufo. She'll find the sledding tough. She'll set the on-ball screen. And that ball gets kicked out to Gallagher. She'll go to the hoop.
Oh,
the
good job,
reverse is
Maggie.
no good, but you got to love that take, right, Brad?
Absolutely. You put pressure on the defense and you give them an opportunity to foul you. But you just got to be so impressed with these young kids for Guertin. The freshmen, the sophomores. They play with a maturity beyond the years. Maggie's a great example of that.
And even though she misses that, there's a lot of victories in that play in particular. Number one, you have 3 fouls now on Ortiz, and she's beat them up a little bit on the board, so that's something you got to pay attention to.
Clock stopped.
And the clock stopped, and you get their offensive rebound on that miss. Long. Bank shot! In! Around the world! Off the backboard! All that and a bag of chips.
Back down to 6. Been here
Lead
before.
is 6. And now we'll see if Mercy plays the same type of game or if they change it up a little bit. They've the top on that basket has kept them out of the scoring column here in the fourth quarter.
It's like we've talked about.
Step back, no. Oh, you got to come away with that rebound though.
That one hurt.
3 white shirts surrounding it, and no one got a body on the rebounder. Oh, little push off there, no call. Long wanted it, didn't get it. Jazz got to be careful as Ciccarello almost went backdoor on her.
Got to get stops, Jason. Just have to get stops.
The defensive pressure, things are heating up here. Up and under, and what a pretty make there by Ortiz. There's good defense by Regan, and sometimes you play a great defensive possession, and the other team just scores. Dufo into the key. The runner is good. And I like that, Brad, because they converge on her, and you've got Gallagher standing on the low block. So we'll see if they try that approach again. Dufo has 5. Benigni from the beak. Dribble drive. Rosario stayed back to help, but pretty runner there, and Benigni lets it be known that that one was good by pointing down to the floor. Very confident player. Regan not shy. And then there's the rebound by Gallagher. Kick back out. Long downtown. Too long. And the rebound grab there by Ortiz. Coach Orlando wanted the elbow call. Didn't get it. Ciccarello now working on Jazz. Into the corner it goes to Bryant. She'll come back up top. Ortiz now, top of the key. Things are starting to get a little tense out there on the floor. Way downtown, Benigni! Yahtzee for Madison Benigni. That's a huge shot, Brad. 3:28 to go here. Lead back up to 11.
Yeah, two tough possessions, you know. I thought Ayla did a nice job on Ortiz. She just made a tough shot, and then they just ran the point guard off of 2 off-ball screens, and again, just very physical, very mature group of kids, and they're a tough out.
47-36, the Tigers by 11, 3:28 to go here. Jason Roby calling all of the action for you. My color commentary man today is Brad Craig, former coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Man on the moving pictures is the highlight guy, Steve Cody. Want to thank you all for watching here today. You've seen a good one on a Saturday afternoon, the eve of the AFC and NFC championship games. So what a great way to spend the weekend. A little high school basketball on a Saturday afternoon, followed up by the NFL on a Sunday. And this Mercy High School team is not showing any on Guertin right now. But Guertin still battling. Have to like what you've seen. And again, Brad, those defensive possessions or those defensive efforts weren't bad. It just the other team made some shots.
They made plays. Yeah, they made plays, and now you got to come back and do the same.
Long gets it over to Jazz. She'll drive and kick it out. They're trying to get Dufo maybe established on the perimeter, and she'll. Didn't take that shot, thought she might have, but there's that runner we talked about. So a nice make there by Dufo. She has 7.
Time's becoming a real factor here. Under 3 minutes now, down 9. So, interesting to see whether Coach Orlando starts running and jumping a little bit, but she's tough down there. Huh?
That is great defense by Gallagher, and Ortiz just having herself a monster second half. She's killed them on the glass, and she's got 9 here in the second half. Little entry hook pass, and guess who stepped into that lane?
Yep.
Ortiz. She got it out to Benigni. The runner, no whistle. Jazz had it go through her wings, and the Tigers will set things back up, and we'll see if they go into a little bit of a stall here. Benigni says no.
I'm not sure Coach Coe's liked that shot.
I don't think he did. And Jazz, the runner in the lane, good quick hands, and getting hacked in the act is Gallagher. She'll head to the line for a pair.
Good Drapo coming back into the game. 2:06 left here. If they hit both of these free throws, it's again down to 9, and I think you'll see Guertin, with a lot of double teams and see if they can create a quick turnover. If not, they're going to have to put Mercy on the foul line and lengthen the game out.
Well, and in that regard, nice shot there. In that regard, they there's no team fouls on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And so that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But at some point, you've got to do a nice box out there by Ortiz on Regan. So 1 out of 2 for Gallagher. And, like you said, there's no 10-point possession here. And a good take to the basket there by Bryant. She gets hacked in the act. We'll see who they give this one to. It's going to go against Dufo. That's her 3rd. As we said, Drapo getting
4th.
4th foul. I do have 4 there. I was just seeing if Coach Gibbs
people were paying attention in
Coach
front of
Gibbs
us.
was paying attention. He was. Sometimes you can catch those Bedford guys napping. It is Trapo's 4th foul. And 49-39 Cards. Timeout on the floor here. Yeah, no 10-point possession, so certainly what you have to come away with here. You cannot exchange baskets. That's clear. Each possession, you have to come out on top of it, and even then you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, look, I think Guertin's going to have to get downhill into the rim. I'm sure Coach Coase is talking to his kids right now, basically saying, listen, we don't want to be committing needless fouls. So, if you're Guertin, you're trying to get the ball to the rim. You're probably setting up some sort of press, some sort of run and jump. You're double teaming the ball, seeing if you can create a quick turnover. And if you can't, you're just going to have to foul, stop the clock, and play the odds that Mercy's not going to hit free throws, and you can get yourself back into the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Happened to be watching both huddles there, and what a contrast in styles in terms of, Coach Orlando and Coach Coase. Both effective, clearly, in their methods. But it's kind of fun to watch the different coaching styles. And
a lot of different ways to get it done, right,
yeah,
Jason?
there is. There are a lot of different ways. No question about it. And clearly when you were talking about Coach Coe's age, no, you were talking about how many years he's been coaching. Sorry. He
got the head coaching job when he was 8.
Good call, Coach Craig. See, he's been watching a lot of the highlight guy, and there's a turnover, and the body language by the Cardinals is just not what you want to see, because that tells the story without even looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's got to hang in here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they may or may not win the game, but I want to see how they execute, a come-from-behind kind of thing. See if they can get the clock stopped here.
They're in no hurry to shoot this ball, even when they have position. So if you're the Cards, you wonder if they said, look, we're not going to foul these people. We'd have to make 4 quick ones.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You got to foul. They'll get it done. Now, you probably don't want foul. You're fouling.
Yeah, this possession has lasted just about a minute here, and Regan going to get called.
It's a good foul. She's only got 1, so she's probably the right candidate. You got 2 now, right?
2 now.
So you got Jazz, who doesn't have a foul yet. You probably want Jazz fouling. You probably want Ayla fouling.
Yeah, there's a good foul by Long. That's her 4th. So again, the discipline on the defensive end of not having any fouls kind of works against you here.
Yeah, and I think you want to be fouling number 12 if you can.
Into the backcourt it comes. And
that's
Regan,
not the
no
kid
call
you want to foul
there.
right there. But again, you don't have the luxury of a lot of choices at this point. The priority is to get the clock stopped.
And that one's going to go against Jazz. That's just her first personal. So one more will put the Tigers into the 2-shot bonus. And you got to do it quickly, and a good job there by Jazz. And you wonder if that almost came maybe a minute too late, but trying to, come away with a turnover, and I think that's what Salem was doing the other night, trying to maybe get a steal, jump into a passing lane, and Guertin just did a great job of running that one out. And, Ciccarello will head to the line. These are her first free throws of the evening. She knocks the first one down. She has 18 on the evening.
That's what veteran teams do. With guards are you give me the guards, right? You got kids that know how to finish games. She steps up to the free throw line, hits 1 out of 2, and Guertin's got to get downhill to the rim and get something quick.
Tufo step back, fired downtown, no rebound taken in by Benigni, and she's been everywhere all night. And a foul there by Regan. That'll be her 3rd, and it'll send Madison back to the line. She has 20 on the evening, including 2 3-pointers here in the 4th quarter. The free throw line for Benigni, 8 out of 9 on the evening if she makes this one.
All right, layups and free throws in the 4th quarter of tight games.
The Cards are going to go down here in this one, but a valiant effort way downtown, in and out. And rebound is gathered in there. And fighting to the very end.
I think that's 5 on
That's
Holly.
going to close the book on Dufo. She finishes with 7 points. Coach Coe's about to head to his bench as Roseggi and Abby Weidman prepare to check back in. Ciccarello knocks down the first. She'll get a second. She has 19. A nice back iron, no. Benigni headed to the bench there for Mercy. Her day's work is done. Skip pass, Pizzetti in the corner. Air ball, rebound by Rose. Rose, left-hand dribble, gets it over to Ciccarello. They probably won't foul her here. Said the guy who was incorrect.
I think a timeout.
Timeout.
To sub. Look, competitive basketball game, Jason. You know, it's a, you know, I think, again, if you kind of come up for air and think big picture, you know, part of that process the Guertin kids are going through of, you know, learning how to win, they're going to be better for this. They're not going to feel very good about it for, you know, for a few hours or an overnight and so forth, but they go back to work tomorrow. They got to, look, it doesn't get any easier for them.
You beat me to the punch, Brad.
They have the privilege of getting on a bus and going down and playing, you know, one of the better teams in Massachusetts that, you know, they gave Bedford a good run earlier in the holiday tournament and beat a really, really good Pinkerton team. So, you know, right back into the meat grinder on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a 6:30 tip as they travel to Bishop Feehan. This Middletown, Connecticut team came in here, and I think the third quarter, Brad, was the difference in the defensive intensity as they held this Guertin team to just 5 points in that third frame. Your final score here from the Nest, it is the Mercy Tigers out of Middletown, Connecticut, 53, and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, 39. Jason Roby here calling all of the action for you. Steve Cody's the man on the moving pictures. I've been joined here by former head coach Brad Craik, the assistant to the Elm Street Eagles, who just became the city champions here and the middle school league champions in Nashua. Congratulations there. His former assistant coach is now the head coach at Elm Street, and Kyle Tave. So, Coach, congratulations on that win this morning, and thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Any final thoughts from you before we take it home?
Yeah, look, I think we've known for 5 or 6 years that, you know, Coach Coes runs a really great program. He's been young in the last couple of years, and I think what you saw today was a veteran, mature, physical, competitive group of kids. The Guertin kids gave him everything they could handle. Came up just a little bit short, but again, when you think about this thing big picture, I think this is, you know, you can check that box as just a sort of another really good step in the maturation process of a really young team. And, you know, hopefully, you know, assuming Guertin can string enough wins together to get into the tournament, I'm not sure anybody's going to love to have them in the first round of the state tournament.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, and we've kind of gone with that thought as it's a plane that's being built in midair here as teams trying to figure out, you know, the puzzle pieces are coming together, and you're going to you look at this schedule, and you looked at this schedule at the beginning of the year, and you said they have no real easy games here. They're gonna play the iron because it's a 2-year cycle, right, Brad? And this is the second of that 2-year cycle. So that's how it goes. But the positive that you take from this, and we'll look at the Mercy Tigers first. You had Benigni with 22 and Ciccarello with 19. Ortiz was a monster on the boards, and she had 11 points. And rounding out the scoring was Jasmine Bryant with 3. But when you look at the other side of the ledger, you see 7 Cardinals in the scoring column. They share the basketball well. There's no one that's dropping 25, 26 points. It's all 5s and 6s and 7s. And tonight you had Jazz Rosario with 11, Thalia with 10, and she spent a lot of that on the bench in foul trouble. 7 points for Holly Dufo, and she really didn't heat up until the second half. All of those points limited to the third and fourth quarter.
Yep.
You had Ayla Regan with 6, Maddie Long with 5, Pizzetti and Gallagher with 2 points apiece. So a Bishop Guertin team that is a work in progress. They will not be an easy out the rest of the way. They are certainly not a team that is going to, mail it in on any game, no matter who they play. That much is certain. You got to like what you see from Coach Liv Orlando and her staff. She's instilled that in them, something that obviously she's taken from you, Brad, from your years at Bishop Guertin. And you told me at the beginning of the year this is a team that you're really going to enjoy watching, and you've been absolutely right on the mark.
Yeah.
Bishop. Yep.
Jason, I think the one thing I'll say, and I think it's a credit to the kids, and you look at the whole scene in New Hampshire basketball right now, and I think if you talk to all these Guertin kids after they, sort of lick their wounds a little bit, like the elite teams in the state, the Portsmouths, the Bedfords, the Pinkertons, and so forth. I think if you talk to those kids and you talk to those coaches and you said, hey, what would you rather do on a Saturday afternoon? Would you rather play a really tough, competitive out-of-state game, or participate in a holiday tournament against some of the better teams in New England? What makes these teams really good is the fact that I think to a kid they'd say, I'm not that interested in playing in the 40-point blowout. Give me somebody who's really going to challenge me and make me better. And I think you saw a really good example of that. Again, some of the better teams in the state. Portsmouth went up to Maine, played a couple of competitive games. Bedford, Pinkerton, Londonderry, really loaded up in their holiday tournament. And credit to Coach Orlando for doing the same thing. And she could have said, well, I'm going to go back to playing a traditional schedule. She said, nope, I'm going to make it hard. I'm going to make it hard. I'm going to make it hard for a reason, and we'll benefit from it long term. And, I really believe in that. So, I think the sky's the limit for this group, and they'll be better next week than they were today.
Yeah, there it is. Good analysis by former Bishop Guertin coach Brad Craik. The Mercy Tigers will go to 11-3 on the season. They're 10-4 on Max Preps. We'll go with 11-3. Want to thank all of our friends from Middletown, Connecticut for tuning in as their Mercy Tigers come into the gate city of Nashua, New Hampshire, and defeat the now 5-6 Bishop Guertin Cardinals 53-39. The Cardinals will be in action at Bishop Feehan, as Coach Craik mentioned, January 31st for a 6:30 tip. For my broadcast partner, Brad Craik, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Also for Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures. It's been a great afternoon. Enjoy those AFC and NFC championship games tomorrow. And remember, it's not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. Have a good one, everybody.